Welcome to Before You Cut Bangs. I'm Laura Quick.
And I'm Claire Fearman.
I am a professional storyteller and I'm writing my first book.
And I'm a therapist, but not your therapist. Full disclaimer, take what you like, leave the rest.
There she is, Miss America.
Okay.
This will be on the internet as a video as well. So.
I'd like to start with the song.
Oh boy. Here we go.
The giggles have set in.
No, it was just like I was so pumped about this, and then sometimes I get so excited I don't really know where to start. Because I think I'll disappoint everyone first is where I'm going to start.
Okay, go for it. I like when you do that, actually. Take us on a journey, Claire.
Okay. So everybody's in therapy because of social media, which is great. Business is booming. I couldn't get in with my therapist because both of our schedules were so booked, and we were like going back and forth. She's like, I don't have a client at this time. I'm like, well, I've got a client at that time. And she's like, business is booming. And I'm like, truly, it's wild. So good on you guys.
Thank you. Thank you
for making this world a better place. But I think we're like a touch reliant on our therapists. So I'm not saying don't go to therapy, but I think everyone has more daily life skills than perhaps they think they do. So it's like we have what we determine as a crisis that day and then text our therapist like, do you have any openings today or tomorrow? Sometimes there is a real crisis that you need a lot of support on, okay?
Yeah.
And perhaps you don't. But I'm going to be here for it, okay? And I don't just mean people. I'm actually really not talking about people calling me. I watch people in my life do it, and it's so funny. I'm not going to name names, actually, but I watched it yesterday happen. It was like this really bad thing happened, and they had a therapy appointment the next day. We don't know everything. Like, I just want to say that. Like, we don't know everything. We have no crystal ball.
It's not like the time you went and saw a psychic.
I have nightmares about that.
Who definitely was just finding my Facebook and liking shit on it accidentally. And I was like, Claire, he's not clairvoyant, okay?
But he did know some things.
He Googled you. Yes, it's called making shit up and getting it right every once in a while.
Yeah. Did the Wizard of Oz teach us nothing? I mean, you see how it's done.
This isn't what the episode's about.
Well, I just feel like while you're talking shit, I wanted to remind you, you actually did do this.
Yeah. Your nightmares about it should be that you spent money on it.
So much. 3 times. Hang on. And it didn't help.
No, of course not.
Didn't change a mother trucking thing.
Pivot. Okay. This is why I did it. And I guess it does work with the topic, unfortunately. I like to be in the kind of, I know what's what seed, but here we go. I couldn't make a decision. I was in total decision fatigue. And it was like, in my mind, this has to happen or that has to happen. And I need someone to tell me.
You need an unbiased witness.
And you know who will tell you? A psychic or an attorney. Like those are, I can't.
Carl from the internet, who, is in a weird spot somewhere between Homewood and Mountain Brook. He's definitely the one.
That wasn't his name, and I'm glad we're protecting him, okay? So, hope he's doing okay. And laughed all the way at the bank. He's like, wow, she really bought it, okay? So, and I did.
Was this because Grace couldn't get you in, or you?
No, that's because therapists won't give you the answer, right? Like, I mean, we might like direct you or like shine the flashlight, but a therapist isn't, unless you're in danger, a therapist isn't going to be like, do this thing. Like, we don't know. We can ask the right questions if we're like, we kind of know, but we can't say it, so we're going to get you over here. But like, I can't think of another profession besides like paying an attorney or paying a psychic. I guess a doctor. They'll tell you what's what.
Sometimes.
Or they're like, it might be this one, it might be that. I'm like, well, what do you think? So I was in decision fatigue and needed some more therapy. Couldn't get an answer out of her. And so I did go to see a psychic, and it was soothing. for like a couple days. And then I was like, what? And then I called Laura. I was like, you're not going to believe what happened. And I called my mom, and y'all were both probably like, good. Oh my God. Like, is she okay? That was about a year ago. It wasn't like a decade ago. Okay.
That was more recent, as you might imagine.
So as I talk about this, I'm not judging. I am her. I have done this, okay? I imagine you might have called your therapist or texted, like, I need to get in
Are you
tomorrow.
kidding? Poor Mills. Literally, I was sitting here feeling so convicted that sometimes the Mills will reach out and be like, hey, if you have my schedule open for, a week from now or whatever. I was like, what if I come right now? Are you available You're texting. You obviously don't have anyone.
No one's in that office right now.
And I'm on my way, so I'll be there in a second. And he sometimes is like, well, she's probably in a dark place. Come on. But 99% he's like, no, I can't just see you right now.
Sometimes I do it for people. Yeah. So I'm trying to say this to empower people to, if you're not in immediate danger, could you give it 24 hours? Because sometimes if we can regulate for 24 hours, I'm like, oh, wait. I'm actually okay. So something about texting a therapist gives a little nervous system soothing of like, okay, they're going to tell me what to do.
Neosporin on that nervous system.
And sometimes that is appropriate, but I want to challenge people, like, that's a really expensive phone call, like, and no insurance-based therapist is going to give you the customer service I'm giving. So that's part A of this. And then B, when people think they're an emergency, where are they going?
The internet or Victoria. ChatGPT.
Instagram, TikTok.
I was on the phone with one of my tier one the other day, and she was like, I had a great therapy session with my ChatGPT. And I was like, you can't do that. And she's like, it was actually very helpful. And I was like, and she's like, yeah, because it was just giving me, it was like showing me links and Psychology Today reports and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. She's like, I feel much better, but I'm not going to do it anymore. Back to the Bible.
Thank you. So I will preface this with, I have ChatGPT. I don't have any social media. I mean, they're not deleted. They're just not on my phone. Mm-hmm. Because I'm better than everybody right now. That's what it sounds like, but it isn't. We'll get into that. I use these things, super helpful in the correct context, but people have to watch out. Is the internet now my central nervous system? Or am I controlling my central nervous system? Mm-hmm. So I would say the majority of my clients come to me with their diagnosis, which is wild to me. If you need to advocate for yourself, like in the medical world or therapeutic world, that's great. Hey, I'm having these symptoms. I did some research. Could we explore that? That's really good. Patient advocacy. But the internet does push us towards a little confirmation bias of...
Especially ChatGPT.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the whole problem. The big problem with ChatGPT is
with that. AI is the confirmation bias.
That's why other ones now are gaining so much popularity, because they're more like honest as opposed to just telling you what you want to hear.
Will you talk like ChatGPT?
Will I talk like?
Yeah, just to us.
What does that mean?
Just tell us our confirmation bias.
I'll tell you what it means. Like, if I ask it a question, every time it's like, Claire, that was a killer concept. Let's play that out a little bit more. I could be like, I'm going to put needles in my eyeballs and see what happens. It's like, hey, let's pump the brakes. I like where you're going, but some other alternatives are like.
So do you do the voice ChatGPT where it actually talks to you?
No, that's a voice I made up for.
Okay, because there is that.
I use a voice.
I have in my car
She's
before.
British. I love her.
Yeah, and it definitely.
Victoria.
No.
So ChatGPT is going to tell you what it wants you to hear, because guess what? You're going to keep coming back for more.
Exactly.
It's super smart. But I will say, if you're like, I need PubMed articles on this, great resource. Mm-hmm. Really, I don't have time to sift through that. She's going to tell me. Mm-hmm. I forget what I named her because I don't talk to her like you do.
I do. She's, well, I have several now. They're all different assistants.
Wow, that's brilliant. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. But also don't.
It's actually a lot. So maybe consider don't do it.
Okay.
Which I'm really barely.
So this isn't an episode for me to be like a cultural critic of social media diagnosing everybody. I really wanted to talk about it because I did my own experiment of getting off of social media and wanted to talk about what that did for me. Have y'all ever deleted it?
No.
Are you even addicted to it?
Oh, sure. Like everybody else, I think. Yeah. I mean,
I think
don't
everybody is a little.
I don't think it's a problem, right? But like I haven't gotten to a point where it's like, oh, I missed this thing with my kids because I was scrolling or nothing like that. But I mean, I definitely look at it.
Yeah.
I don't look at Facebook much after I'm done with work and where I have to use it during work, and then boom.
I think I convinced myself it's for work, but really it's definitely a soothing, it does something to my nervous system. You're right. And while I haven't done that experiment, what I have done is I've lived in my house now for 8-9 months and I have no TV and have never plugged my phone up in my room ever. So I have created better boundaries around when I allow myself to consume and what I'm consuming. And that's been really helpful, but I haven't been brave enough I've taken it off my phone before and I've done fast from it, not announcing it.
Okay, this is important. You said I've never been brave enough. And I do think there's a utilization for work, but if you can put that aside, because people will relate to this, what did you mean? I haven't been brave enough to just delete it from my phone.
Well, I think there is this lie that if you're not feeding it, then you could disappear or your brand could disappear or your engagement could go down so substantially. And, unfortunately, my career is contingent on growing and building and all of those things in some ways, not in every way. But so I think for me, it was like, oh my gosh, like for now, I'm like pushing a deadline right now. What I really need is like complete focus. I should not be worried about what type of content I need to be posting. I should be just doing the job in front of me for the next, like what's going to happen? What's the worst thing that could happen if I just don't talk to anybody on social media for 30 days? They forget I exist. Okay.
So that's the business mindset for sure. And the fear with it. I think what I've heard, because I've just started asking people in this, what's your fear? And it's a lot. We're telling a lot of lies to ourselves. So, well, I might miss out on some kind of event because a lot of people are dependent on social media to get I might miss out on this thing because I didn't know it was happening. That's how I stay connected to people. That's how I entertain myself. Or when I've asked, people are really defensive out the gate in a nice way, but they're like, oh, well, I have it so curated. I only have cat videos and how to make stews, and they want to tell me oh, it's only good stuff that's on there. So it's not doing any damage to me. So I deleted it in February, off the end of February, off my phone, and went several months without even looking at it. And then I've logged in on my computer 2 times. The first couple weeks, I was astounded at how many times I went to grab my phone when there was, for me, it was boredom or anxiety. And by boredom, I mean a lull. So it's activate, activate, activate. So that's the first thing that I noticed. That went away.
It's like a nervous twitch. My grandmother, I just wrote about this, so it's new. But my grandmother had a nervous twitch in her kitchen where you could count the time she was going to do this in a day. She'd pick up the cloth that she wiped the counter with. She'd wipe the counter. She'd lift her tits up with her forearm like this, and then she'd adjust her glasses. And that was her little nervous twitch. You know what mine is? Mine is picking up my phone, checking TikTok, check Facebook, check Instagram, check my email, check. I mean, ew, I would much rather be just lifting those tits up.
And
you know what I mean?
Counter.
Wipe that counter.
Bring analog
those
back.
Tits. Bring grandma tit lifting back. You know what I mean?
So exactly. So then I'm like, well, we're getting alarm clocks in every room, bedrooms in the house, because I don't want this in my room anymore, because I wake up even without social media and I'm like, who needed me at 2 a.m., or what? I can't, blind as a bat. And so I'm like, okay, like scalding my retina or whatever, corneas, I don't know.
Obviously, Claire is also moonlighting as an eye
optometrist.
doctor. You're welcome.
Anyways, come see me. So I didn't want that anymore. So everyone has an alarm clock, and parents, guess what will wake up your kids? One of those horrible 90s, like,
Same thing I had. Yeah.
Y'all, my kids are up every day because they can't take it anymore. And I'm like, good. We're not fighting anymore in the mornings. I'm not going in. Are you up? Up, get up. Sit up so I can see that you're up, okay? Because Gus will like sit up still asleep. And then I'm like, feet on the floor, and not anymore.
God, Clay was a ninja at pretending he was awake and then going right back to sleep. Like he would be fully brushing his teeth and then go back to sleep.
No.
I would be like, murder. You will get murdered.
So we're back to that. And I had to work a little bit harder. I do think I've missed out on some social things. Totally fine with it. But I had to, like in Birmingham, we have BHAM now. They post all the events. Like I had to work harder to figure out what I wanted to do. I had to work harder to get in touch with people. And I have laughed just as hard even without like funny reels and videos. It has been fantastic. So in the middle of this, someone asked me about dopamine addiction that I guess is really popular right now on the TikToks. And I'm like, let me think on that because there's books coming out. Like, I don't know what they're called, but dopamine addiction is like the theme. Well, dopamine's just a little neurotransmitter in there, like serotonin. And so you can't be addicted to it. Like that
It exists already.
It's there. Mm-hmm. But what happens, what you're talking about with the nervous tick, that's exactly right. That
Yeah, exactly.
whole move. Lift them, wipe, all of it. Mm-hmm. A cue probably came into your grandmother, some cue that she wasn't aware of. And then the tick happens and there's a reward to it, okay? So cue, do the behavior. And I'm going like this, if you're watching me, like it comes into the midbrain, that causes the behavior. Then the prefrontal cortex is like, I loved it, do it again. So the addictive cycle, and dopamine does have to do with actual addiction, whether it's substances or whatever, but we are so used to that reward. Mm-hmm. That's what we're addicted to.
Feeling like we have something to do even if we don't have something to do.
So the cue came in for me. Ooh, I got a little anxious. Pick it up, self-soothe. Brain's like, it worked. You did great. I don't feel bad anymore. And so here we go. And now it got broken. And like, I don't know how I could ever go back to that. So someone asked me the other day, because I was in an existential crisis about should I get back on social media. And one of my friends, tier 1, old bad sock Amanda, was like, hey, well, just change your mindset. It's just for work. Like just say I'm using this for work and only get on to do work stuff. And I was like, that's a great idea. Well, if I look at the dopamine cycle that we're talking about, that would be truly equivalent to me talking to a heroin addict and saying, look, great news. Just use on special occasions. Like just use like a titch of heroin when
like people
on
that
birthdays.
People that use cocaine just like for big events. They're like bachelor party.
They kind of do exist, actually.
No,
The
100%.
The cocaine people totally do.
The people I know that
people.
use cocaine are only that way.
Yes,
It's
literally.
so
It's just
funny to
like
me.
we're having a party. Of course we're doing cocaine.
Okay, well, I'm referring to a heroin addict. It wouldn't work. Like the
Right.
cue of pain or discomfort comes in, use the drug over and over and over again until recovery, sobriety, death, or jail. Like those are the options. And so I don't know that how social media was made gives the ability to compartmentalize it because we're so addicted to it. Mm-hmm. Thoughts, comments, anybody?
Yeah, I mean,
notes?
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say right before this, like, hey, if you're going to add it back, why don't you add it back and just you can set limits on it. Like there are apps where it'll only let you use Instagram for so long a day or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
and then I'm like, no.
Delete.
No. Well, that's what I was going to suggest. Was like, well, why don't you do it and just say, hey, 30 minutes a day is my limit. But I guess what you're saying is, yeah, that doesn't.
You're better than me, and I mean that in a good way. Like
I'm not sure I could do that. I was going to suggest that for you, but then you explained why that really won't work.
it really wouldn't work because like if if it's that strong of an urge, I looked into get it like bricking my phone, and I'm like, another capitalistic bullshit, like another app, another thing.
Yes.
I don't need another thing to manage my time. And so I did the like time limits, put in your passcode to get through it. No problem. Addiction's way stronger than I'm like, I was about to say it out loud, but 0, it's basically 1, 1, 1, 1. Like, that's good enough for me. And I'm back in.
Is there no way to give that to a third party where it's like, you don't have the code, but like,
if I'm having to do that, we've got a real problem on our hands.
Point.
Well, and I think that what I've learned, I haven't done it with social media, but what I did learn about the TV aspect, for instance, or plugging my phone up, is like, it was a lot easier because my environment changed, right? So like the change of my environment is, I'm not at the lake anymore. I'm in Birmingham. Okay, so I have this whole new space. I can decide to build new habits here because this is new. So like, it's been really easy. Just don't have a TV. Not that I'm not watching Ted Lasso when I want to or whatever, but I'm going to watch it on an uncomfortable little iPad. I'm not going to put it on I'm going to work for it. I'm going to have to squint, put them glasses on.
Yeah.
But the same thing goes for like, I walk miles and miles and miles now because I can walk to restaurants. I can walk to coffee shops. I can walk to the botanical garden with Claire.
It's Claire.
And Clay. I could, but he didn't. But anyways, but you did. But I think that environmental change can really helps. For instance, my grandmother would still lift her tits in the car.
Sure.
She would still adjust her glasses, but then she would open and close her purse.
Stop.
I'm not joking. Wafting out the smell of coffee, because that's where she kept her money, was in a coffee tin.
That's so great.
Yeah, it's in the book.
So it's not that like our ritualistic little things are bad or wrong. I love that.
Yes.
And we all have them. Like when I don't have my glasses on and I have on my contacts, I'll go like this and then I'm like, there's nothing there. Like we are creatures of habit.
Yes.
So my therapeutic plea is notice, is this regulating you in some way? And maybe some people listening are like, yeah, I can compartmentalize. I do it. Your dad obviously wasn't a heroin addict, like I was set up genetically for this. And like social media doesn't care about you. Like they don't care.
Social media is not going to miss you.
No, I mean like the creators of.
Right.
But also social media is not going to miss you. By the way, call a friend, go on a walk. The creators aren't like, oh, I feel like I have siloed her content to really negative things, that she's probably like on the autism spectrum and has ADHD. Like it will silo you. Mm-hmm. Then y'all are calling me with your diagnosis.
Okay, so back to that. You started this with, we probably have a bigger capacity than we think to deal with something hard without going straight to the internet and diagnosing ourselves and texting our therapist like, I need an appointment tomorrow. Can you see me? So in that moment, let's say that comes up. I am stressed. Something really hard just happened. And my soothing is I want to text my therapist and be like, can you get me in like today or tomorrow? What do I do instead?
First, you're not in trouble if you do that. You can. If you choose to do something different, I would put your phone away and go for a walk, maybe 10 minutes. People really struggle when I'm like, leave your phone and go for a walk. But like we all did used to do that, and we were possible. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Lift them tits up and get out there.
Yeah, so no headphones or anything, and like listen to the birds or cars or like whatever like you live. Put it away. So we want to just sensory soothe, regulate as much as you can.
What if they want to? What if they type the text out in their notes but don't send it?
Oh, yeah, I got plenty of drafts and emails of like, I got to get this thought out, but I should wait to send it to this person because it sounds like Dear Diary, not Dear who I'm really writing it to. Totally do that. And I do think we could identify a useful time of like, this is a crisis. I mean, major loss, major decision that has a deadline. Like I got a job offer and I have to decide in 48 hours. Do you have time for me? I really need to process through this, like time limit things. Mm-hmm. I think that's not crisis, but is a time constraint. Mm-hmm. Like death and loss, like totally tell your therapist, like, we do want to get you in. Vicarious trauma or like secondary trauma, if something happened to someone you love, you don't know how to support them and you're really struggling with it, totally call a therapist. So to me, that none of those might be a massive crisis, but that is, I really need someone sooner than 2 weeks from now. I think most therapists, I heard on NPR, this was in relation to for veterans, but they're like, 5 weeks is the minimum usually. I'm not booked 5 weeks out, but that's wild.
That's a long time
That's
to
a
have to
long
wait. If you
time.
really, especially if you made the hard decision, I want to see a therapist, and then to have to wait. Okay, so moving to the next thing, because I think this is important. You were talking about dopamine and how I'm dopamine addicted. So if you find yourself lifting them tits, adjusting those glasses, doing that thing, what are some tools that we should put in our tool belt? It maybe because it's not going to be social media for everyone. I mean, it probably is social media for everyone, but maybe it's something else. Maybe it's texting that really shitty ex-boyfriend and trying to eat out the trash again. Don't eat that. Don't eat out the trash.
It's getting used to the mundane. So we're so far from being used to the mundane. I've seen a big swing, and I love it. Like my younger clients, they're like, bring back the 90s, and they weren't born in the 90s, and it's so cute. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
But I don't know. There's so many things we shouldn't bring back. But go on. But
that's
yes,
young Laura
analog.
talking.
I know.
Okay, we've already talked that we're not criticizing her anymore.
Well,
So I think that there's this cultural swing to get back to the mundane, and I think it's really wonderful. So to me, it's learn how to experience boredom. And this, we would call it distress tolerance. How do I tolerate something distressing without an action that really doesn't serve me? So if I'm in a distressing place, getting on social media is really not serving me. But, and I'm going to let some technology slip in here, because some people, like, I could lay in my garden all live long day, and some people really don't like that. So I want to be aware of that. Have y'all seen Zach Galifianakis' new show on Netflix?
Yeah. It's a gardening
seen
show.
it.
It's a gardening show.
Shit, I still have gardening, but it doesn't matter if you're a gardener or not for this. Laura, it is the most pure, hilarious thing on television
Okay,
right
I
now,
can't
and
wait
it's
to watch it.
15-minute episodes.
Stop.
So that's where technology is a healthy distraction. Like
Yeah.
it's pure and true and easy, and I can distract myself. That will regulate you a little bit. So I'm not saying like live in the dark ages and be fine with everything. You have the ability to make a good choice even when we don't feel like we can. That's back to that mindfulness piece we talked about in the last episode. If I wander off, can I bring myself back? Y'all, our phones have made us feel like we don't have choice and I have to do this. No, we don't. Do something else.
And I think too, just something, and this is something I'm learning, there's a real tendency when something really big or hard has happened, when you do feel like, oh my gosh, I need to text my therapist, I've got to get in, or you want to pick up that phone. If you can give yourself a minute to not think about it, to give yourself like, hey, this is really big and hard. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break. I'm going to go for that walk. I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm not going to call my tier one and ruminate in this. It's crazy how that space can give you so much perspective and it not feel as big as it does if you just double down and keep talking about it and keep calling people about it and blog about it, whatever.
You're right. And we do say phone a friend, phone a friend, phone a friend. And there's this really lovely place to pause, because I used to over phone a friend.
Me too.
And I can picture, and I'm not mad at myself for it, but like when I was really probably like 2021 too, when I went through a lot of hard stuff, I really depended on you a lot. Thank God that you were able to do it. But like
You
wanted
said
you
21, 22, and I wish I knew you then, but you mean 31, 32, right?
2000, the year.
Oh, okay, yes, 21 and 22. Okay, got it. I was like, Claire, how cool would it have been if we knew each other then?
I think we would have gone to jail.
No, 100. We would.
I think it's
we might
God's
still be in jail.
gift we didn't meet.
We'd probably still be in jail with Clay. Clay would be. I don't know, where would he be?
With Clay. Foster care. Okay. So it's a blessing. I meant the year.
Okay,
I
got
really
it.
did depend on you, and I probably fed your, like, you can fix it. And you really did save the day for me a lot.
I will arbitrary timeline you. We will.
You need a
figure
dining
this
room
out.
table? It is 2-day
Done.
shipping, honey.
We'll have it
But I
there.
really wouldn't have had a place to eat. So you really did help me. But I also developed a habit of, if I feel really bad, call somebody and dump it all out. And so that is like a quick wring out of like a sponge, but it is going to come back, and I'm lifting my tits again, okay? So there,
Grandma, I'm
you
so
might
sad
be
she's
over
not here
dependent,
to
but
see
it's so empowering to pause and like put the phone down and go for a walk. And do I really need this right now? So I will say, I've had a couple instances recently where I got kind of a, hey, I really need to talk to you. And I just didn't have it on my schedule, because I will accommodate those texts, of course, from a client. And I'll say, I can get you in on this day. And it's typically a week or two later. Every time that has happened, the client has said, I'm so glad you couldn't get me in. I figured it out. And more developed. Like, I figured it out, and then these things happen. So can we process this? This is a better use of my time. And so sometimes it's just like a gift from the universe of, I can't get you in, and you have an opportunity to do it. And if you're a therapist listening, I will give you a little advice. I used to think they're in crisis, they need me.
I gotta move some stuff around.
I gotta move some stuff around. Like, I won't eat lunch today. Sometimes I still do that, but I won't eat lunch today, and I'll get them in. I'll eat in between sessions. You're subsidizing care at that point. You are not serving your client. And if they can go to a hospital and call 911, which you're not equipped for.
Wait, they
anyways.
can call what? They can call
988.
988.
Yeah, so like, if there's an emergency, like, I am not a crisis worker, and I want to remind therapists that, like, we are not crisis workers. There are crisis workers that are going to be more equipped and more efficient than us. Is 988 national?
It is national, but it will, if available, ring the local first.
That's incredible. So like, I think therapists also have to, we have to be accountable. I don't have to accommodate everything. I'm not going to show up for them. They're writing me a check. I wish they're writing me checks. They aren't. I'm swiping their credit cards, and I might not be well suited for that in that moment, and they might be able to figure it out, which is a gift to the therapeutic relationship anyways.
Well, and you set an unrealistic expectation with a client if every time they're in an emergency, you can accommodate them, especially if everything feels like an emergency.
And it's just an ego boost to me. I'm like, they need me, and I'll accommodate.
God,
You're
I
welcome.
love it. You know I love that.
And it
Pull them
works.
tits up. Beep, boop.
I'm going to have to start tipping y'all if you keep that up.
Sorry. So inappropriate. Okay, I really felt like I just preached a sermon.
It felt good, though.
It really felt good to get it out.
And just to end things before it gets weird and too far away from the story, I do have a quick, funny story. I volunteered. I started going to a new church in Birmingham, first church. I really love it. And I have no small children, but decided to volunteer for the Easter egg hunt. This is obviously Easter. And I was at the carrot toss station.
With real carrots?
No, they were little sewn, like, sweet burlap carrots. It was really sweet.
Cute.
And you tossed them into the bunny's mouth and his tummy.
That's really cute.
I know, it was really cute. And I was obviously fan favorite of all the little kids. And I was so excited because they were all so cute. And I was wearing just like a smock dress, like loose fitting dress with a little scarf. And I was like, yes. And it was warm, very warm actually. And nipple covers, as one does. You know,
They
need a
stick.
bra.
Just
They
for
stick. Yeah, in
listeners
case-
who might not have used those. Will?
Yeah.
Well, what, pasties?
Yeah, kind of.
Sure.
Kind of.
Were they
What-
silicone or the Band-Aid material?
These are the silicone ones.
Okay.
I use the Band-Aid pasties for running, for distance running.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just don't
good.
want to get chafed.
So painful. So
Yeah.
incredibly painful.
Yeah. And so
This isn't for chafing. It's for appropriate things at church.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
no
Just
nips
being
out in church.
No nips out. And a child was just doing so good, made it into the belly. I was bending down, and it was a little warm, kind of sweaty. And one of the nipple covers just flopped on the ground like a fish, fell out the bottom of my dress. And I have never felt more anxious to get that thing up off the ground, shoved it in my pocket, looked over at Zach. I was like, I've got to run to the restroom. And I'm sure he thought I was like emergency about to like shit my
Vomit or
pants or something. But nope, just felt a little weird about
They're
the-
pretty sticky. Did it get any dirt?
So this is a mistake, just a rookie mistake. These were not the kind with adhesive. They were the kind that stick to your body because they're way, which is
You're not going to want a free-flowing dress with
you
that.
don't want to free flow anything with that. So that's just a little piece of advice. Maybe make sure you're using the adhesive ones that really hurt when you pull them off.
Yes.
If you're going to be wearing a dress, a free flowy dress to church activities, because they will fall off.
So
You
had
can take
one
that to the bank.
One headlight shining.
Yeah, and then I was just lifting. I'm just kidding.
Where's my phone?
This is a gardening show, is what it's called.
This is a gardening show.
Please watch it.
Okay, I'm going to
everyone.
watch it. I will report back with all of my spare time.
I laughed so hard my abs hurt. And
Yes. That's the best. Hey, by the way, if you have not tuned in on YouTube, please do that because we have some fun interviews. One's already up with Olivia Stewart of The Optimist Pilates, but we also have some really fun ones that are going to be sprinkling out into episodes over the next couple of months.